Hi everyone! Welcome to our channel Travel Storytellers. We are back and today we have new experiences to share with you.
We have added new photos to our album.
And we have learned a little bit about China, India, Italy in our most recent trip.
You probably know some things about these countries.
But let us share with you some embarrassing moments.
Do's and don'ts and some dining etiquette rules and more. So,
Continue with us!
traveling is awesome. I never would stop of surprise me with all that I learn and see. It's amazing how things can change with some kilometers of distance.
I know what are you talking about. Some mirrors do the differences between the right hand or the left hand, or maybe eating wet or without cutleries, or maybe eating everything or not.
I traveled to India 6 months ago, and I really learned many things. India's culture is very singular.
I traveled to China some months ago, and there I met a guy called Yang Li. He showed me all about his culture. It was great.
Something that I really love from China is that there is a common understanding of sharing with everyone.
So there, the dishes are placed on the table. However, I was tempted to serve a lot of what I saw in the dishes. It's rude to do it. You have to control yourself. In other way, it will be inconsiderate.
Look what I have. There is a present from Yali. It was really difficult to learn to use them.
I was in Italy 4 months ago. There are a lot of customs that maybe we don't know. Thanks to my travel, I could live good and bad moments, but all of them taught me something.
And then tell us some embarrassing moments that you have had there.
Well, in my first meeting in Italy, I went to dinner with some friends. So I didn't have my hands on the table because here in my country it is not polite. Some of them saw me like a strange or something like that. Someone advised me that I have to put both. I really had an embarrassing moment because all of them knew that I was a foreigner. But it was fine too. It was funny for them, but one of them saved that moment. Oh God.
Oh, what a bad moment, but imagine what happened to me.
I felt me really ashamed the day I was invited to drink tea. I just poured some tea on my cup and returned the teapot to the table. However, for the others it was more than that. I didn't understand why all they were watching me. The host, who noticed my incomprehension, fastly turned the spout through another direction, and while he did it, he apologized me. He said, This had the same meaning of using the finger to point to somebody. That's very impolite to the one that be pointed.
I also have a pair of anecdotes to share with you. Before travel, I read some things about the customs and dining etiquette, but it is a little bit difficult to remember everything. So something that I loved there was eating with my fingers.
Yes, Indians don't usually use cutlery for eating food. In fact, there's also an inside joke. They say that when eaten with fingers, food tastes much better. And I agree with them.
Something important is you must use always your right hand. At the beginning, I used to forget that simple rule.
I was eating with some friends and touched lightly my food with my left hand, and immediately they looked at me with contempt and disgust. Of course, they consider the use of the left hand to be unclean and offensive, as they use it to clean themselves after going to the bathroom.
It was an embarrassing moment. After that, I always kept in mind, only the right hand, only the right hand.
At least I could use my left hand to drink water.
I had to keep in mind one thing. I was walking across the Venezia city Yes, the Love City. And I saw a Colombian restaurant and I wanted to eat traditional food, my traditional food. And maybe don't have more problems with their culture and their food. But I had a mistake again. I asked them for an arepa. I continued with my hike and eating it at the same time. Some people were looking at me with displeasure. I didn't understand only when I arrived at home and reading some facts about Italy and I found it. Yeah, it is not usual eating and walking at the same time because it is a disrespect with who prepared the plate. They believe that the chef spent a lot of time cooking and you have to have the same time to eat.
I believe that we all learn something after bad moments. For example, I learned that you don't have to leave your chopsticks stuck vertically in your rice.
I did it once and housewife Miss yelled me, "Don't do it." That's associated with death. It's considered a dark omen because it looks like incense sticks that are burned in memory of the deceased.
What a curious belief. I think those countries can offer us a lot of surprising things. Let's see.
I was doing exercise early in the morning. I was so angry. Then I arrived at Italian's cafeteria. In that time, I didn't know about breakfast in that country. So I asked them for a full breakfast. I believed that maybe it would have ham, eggs, bread, coffee, or something like that. But it was a surprise for me when I saw that full breakfast. It had a cup of coffee and a pastry. There, I really missed all the things that I would like to eat in my Colombian breakfast.
My mother taught me you have to eat everything that is served, but for the Chinese, things don't work in that way, so you have to leave food. That is completely impolite, eat everything. If you do it, they are going to think that you are hungry because the food has not been enough.
Whoa, really? In India is the very opposite.
You must not leave anything on your plate as leftovers. Leaving food on your plate is not appreciated in this culture. And I really like it because I love leaving my plate clean.
Another surprising thing in China is about burping or slurping soup. Actions which are considered impolite in Western culture are part of Chinese eating and are generally interpreted as complimentary signs.
Really? It's strange and disgusting.
Yes, I agree with you. Okay, now, as a way to avoid embarrassing moments, we have some advices for you.
One of the most famous dishes in Italy is the pasta. If you are served pasta, don't use a spoon to assist yourself while eating it. Use a fork and the sides of the bowl or plate against which to twirl the pasta onto the fork. Don't slurp the pasta straight into your mouth. Place the entire forkful into your mouth at once. And also, never cut the lettuce in your salad. Fold it with your knife and fork into a little bundle that can be picked up with your fork.
A clean teapot is a teapot without a soul in China. It is related to the belief in Chinese tea spirits, so when you wash a teapot, you destroy the plague that contains all the flavor and tea color, killing in this way to the spirits.
If your host offers more food, don't refuse unless you are really full. Saying, "take some more food" is the Indian way to showing love and respect. The amount you eat tells your host how much you enjoyed the food. Finally, if you have finished your food early, then you must remain seated until the host or the eldest person at the table finishes their food. Getting up from the table when everybody else is still eating is considered ill-mannered.
We really love sharing with you all our experiences abroad, all the things that we knew and learned.
Thank you so much for joining with us. If you like this video, don't forget to give us a like and share the video.
And don't forget to follow us in our social networks. And remember, subscribing to watch more story travel videos.
Bye!